This was originally a phone call, but we had to make it a Zoom. I have to see this man. I have to see him.
We all do.
I have to see him.
Yes.
And there he is, the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. That's a game face. Your game face is on, Coach. How are you, Arthur Smith? What's going on?
Good. I almost shaved just to bother you. You know what? No, Rich, I'm going to leave it going. See how it goes.
So it's got okay. So I understand there's lots to discuss football-wise, but I do have to just get straight into it. Walk me through the stash. What do we got here? Where did this come from, Arthur Smith? What do we have here?
Well, I mean, maybe it's a midlife crisis. Maybe the man goes to a point where he needs to have a mustache. I don't know.
Okay, but I'm assuming this has been family approved. Family approved, Coach.
Of course. You look as handsome with it, Rich. Of course your wife's going to approve.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Well, it's certainly if you've kept it for as long as you had. You called it a lifestyle choice, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, it is.
And who have you been compared to? Have any of your friends or anybody called you up and say you look like this guy, look like that guy at all?
Different, I mean, sometimes people they said like Tom Selleck, sometimes people like Sam Elliott, certain worlds, maybe, I don't know. Maybe the Roadhouse version of Sam Elliott, I don't know.
We went with here on the program, since I'm sure we've been talking about it. If you haven't, we have. The Taggart from Beverly Hills Cop. That's what we went with. What do you think?
That's a good one. I like it. It's got an 80s vibe to it, Rich.
It does have 80s. It does. There it is. We've even come up with this photograph of you, and we can send this to you if you'd like to show your kids if they can make the reference. What do you think, Coach?
Yeah,
okay. Okay. Very good. All right. Let's get.
Not impressed.
Okay. Let's just jump right. I feel like I'm back in the shoes of trying to get Matt Ryan to agree to the match rule right here. All right. Let's just jump right into it, Coach. What is going through your mind 2 days before the playing season in 2023?
We just finished, our Friday practice, Rich, and it's always a long lead up to week one. There's obviously a lot of unknown, there's a lot of excitement, but very, very confident in this group. And so you just try not to overthink it, try to get in the routine. And then we'll have our last walkthrough meetings tomorrow night, and then we'll kick off quick Sunday at 1. We're ready to roll, though.
What have you learned about Bijan Robinson over the last several months now that you've had him in your family?
Yeah, I think with Bijan, what makes him different, and I've said this, I got asked this the other day, and I meant this in all sincerity, like, he's one of the most mature players I've ever dealt with this much hype and expectation. Rich, I do honestly believe like it's harder and harder now to deal with hype. Every generation and whatever it is, and a lot of people now, they live through their screen. That's probably not the best thing, but it is. It's the way of the world right now. And it can mess some people up, and some people have a hard time handling expectations or we can go on and on and on. But a guy that's had that much attention and that much hype, and in a place like Austin and in Texas, and we draft him in here, it's pretty impressive. On top of him being a really good football player. So he's handled all that stuff really well. And
there's no question in your mind about the workload you can give him as a rookie running back at all, Coach?
Be similar to CP. May make up another name. I mean, I'm calling him a joker. I don't know if you got another name. We can church up the depth chart even more.
Okay. Well, in terms of the joker position, we could not help but notice the letter J on the Falcons depth chart for Cordero Patterson. He's the first stringer joker position. Why did you do that? What's that about?
Yeah, sometimes you get bored with conventional wisdom. And it's not really what he played, I mean, you try to stack them in a depth chart. I mean, the guys that we have up on game day to me are starters.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a fixed, hey, this is the 11 and are you getting the 12 and this is how it has to be in this pecking order. When we play in so many different personnel groups and guys, seriously, I mean, they play in different spots for us. And, and sometimes there are some guys that had these starting streaks, and that's important. I mean, I think of the starting streak, like Jason Witten, guys that had a string of game, in the first play. But some of it goes back, especially coaching tight ends. I remember this with a guy, Delaney Walker, who was a hell of a player. And we had Delaney in Tennessee, and I got to worked with him in different roles for 7 years. I remember one time, it was Mike Malarkey, Mike was a old school NFL guy, and we were going to call a different personnel first play, and he did. And it taught me a lot. He said, hey, make sure to talk to Delaney that he's not going to be in there. That important. When I was refreshing that guy like Delaney, and we started finding this, I don't give a whatever.
Yeah.
Just you call whatever we need to, and all I care about is winning, And so everybody's different. It doesn't make it better or worse, but it's just that's not our mentality. And we're going to play in a lot of different personnel groups. The guys are going to play different spots.
And the weaponry is there, no question about it. Arthur Smith for the Atlanta Falcons prior to taking on Carolina at home in week number 1 right here on the Rich Eisen Show. You mentioned how Bijan Robinson is ready for the moment in terms of his maturity for his age. Kind of feel the same way about your quarterback from outside in, and I'm wondering what Desmond Ridder looks like to you prior to his first ever week 1 season start in the NFL, Coach.
Well, he's a confident player, and he should be. There's not any false bravado. He doesn't need any hype guy. I mean, he's got a lot of confidence because he's got evidence of doing it. And he had a lot of starts in college. The guy's won wherever he's been. Even last year, as he played late, threw him in some tough situations and got better each week. And we believe in Desmond. He wouldn't be out there. And I think the hard on never go back to people living through their screens, but you guys see it all the time. The hype machines about guys today are just ridiculous. It's so hard to play quarterback in this league, and there's not a perfect science to it. And sometimes it is the climate they're in. There's a lot of other factors. Whether a player goes on to have a lot of success. But we feel really good about what we have going here, and we believe in Desmond.
And the quarterback that you're facing this weekend, how does one prep for first overall pick who might not have been able to show anything in preseason? Did you go back to any Alabama tape on Bryce Young?
There's so much in week 1. I mean, I'm sure last night there was between Detroit and Kansas City, they probably had some new wrinkles, and maybe they playing an educated guess of what you think you're going to get from Mahomes or Jared Goff. But Bryce is a talented player. He's going to play his first start, played a lot in the preseason. I'm sure they'll have a couple of wrinkles, but in the day, you're going to get in situations that we understand that he's going to have to handle, and we're going to have to handle too when you get to some of the third down, obvious drop back, and I'm sure that's why they drafted him. And we just got to make sure we play clean. That's happened a lot of times in week 1. You don't want to have a lot of penalties, and you see it all over the league. And careless with the ball. We need to play smart, get into this game. But there's going to be a lot of unknown on both sides.
Did you watch last night's game with an eye towards week 3? I know you week to week world. You play them in week 3, Detroit.
Oh, we go up there. Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, you're watching it, and I'll obviously dive into it heavier with after the Green Bay game. We got to stay focused on Carolina. But sure, you're certainly watching it and seeing what's going on. And absolutely.
What excites you about your team going into this year, Coach? Just throw it out there for me.
Rich, I love the mindset of these guys. I mean, we got a team that you're speaking of like an 80s mindset. I mean, these guys work. They practice hard and gives you a chance, like especially when your best players, the guys that we pay a lot of money to, they're your best workers. That makes my job a lot easier. The Grady Jarrett's, Jake Matthews, bringing Jesse Bates in there, David Onyemata. So gives us a chance. Chris Lindstrom, when you pay guys like that, they're your best workers, they're good players. Everyone's talking about culture. Those are the guys that are living it right there, and that makes my job easier.
And I'll just throw the name Calais Campbell in the mix too. I mean, you got him walking around.
Calais, Bud Dupree. Calais, he's going to do 16th year. He's talking about an impressive person.
I know, right?
So, I mean, he's only, hopefully we can get his 100th sack too. Somebody told me that stat yesterday. The next sack will be his 100th.
That's right.
Cool
that is pretty cool. Yeah, and speaking of an 80s mindset, I guess you're potentially set to put the banana in the NFC South tailpipe, right, Coach? What do you think?
Rich, you're trying to get me canceled.
No, it's a line from Beverly Hills Cop. That's what happened.
I mean, you never know today. I mean, Rich, I'm not. I mean, you're syndicated, right?
Yeah.
I'm not syndicated, Rich. I got to be careful.
We're corporate. No, we're just as corporate. I'm an NFL corporate guy too. You know what I mean? So,
sort of.
Well, you understand why I needed to see you, right? Instead of have you on the phone, I had it to actually see you.
I knew that's why I almost shaved just to be.
Oh, wow.
But out of respect to you, I didn't want you. Hey, the best thing you did lately, and I got to tell Taylor and Will this.
Sure.
You talk about a power move. You made Taylor and Will come to you, right?
You know what? He was in
Power
town.
move.
Power move.
You won't get on the damn bus, but you'll make them come to you.
Well, no, I'm a man of principle, just like you. You know, I've said that I will not get on that bus until there's a motor on it, and I'm trying to be a man of my word. And they were in town, and I'm like, "How'd you like to come here?" And they said, "Sure." So I didn't twist an arm.
You tried to big time. That's a power move.
You know what? I'll take it. Yes, I appreciate you noticing that. And he also said, Compton said that you wanted to give him his year 10, that actually almost happened, right?
That's right. He came and worked out. And, it was a lot better than I thought. I was anticipating being out of shape, and he looked ready to go.
Okay.
But, there were some things he had to work out with his contract's unfortunate, but he almost got year 10. That was real.
Right. And now, he's 5 years from Canton. I think I saw that one recently as well. He says he's
Special wing for guys like him.
Coach, thanks again. Greatly appreciate it. Have a great week one. Look for more of my calls. And I fear the stash. I think the rest of the league will as well. So good luck on that.
I appreciate it, Rich.
You got it. That's Arthur Smith, everybody. Head coach of the Atlanta Falcons right here on the Rich Eisen Show. He almost shaved.
Awful.
I wouldn't have been able to. I would have.
That's what I
You'd have
said.
been like, can you put Coach Smith on the Zoom, please? Who was this person?
But
said?
he said I almost shaved just to mess with you.
I know, but he's not going to do that. You can't switch up like now.
Gamesmanship.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.